have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with TikTok. For some people, they love to hate it. For people like me, I hate that I love it. Medieval kings believing that in order to produce an heir, their wives had to orgasm during sex. I don't know if that is true, but if so, strong work to the medieval kings. I think some modern day kings need to learn a lesson there. Learn your lesson, sir.
No woman would be prosecuted for murder if they used an IUD, and while using that IUD, it prevented the implantation of an embryo.
Well, my bill would do away with abortifacients.
But that's not an abortifacient.
Okay, well, that's your opinion. I don't think that's the opinion of others.
He said, well, that's your opinion. No, sir, that is a medical definition. You cannot abort a pregnancy if you're not pregnant. You have to be pregnant to have an abortion.
It doesn't eliminate contraceptives. Contraceptives keeps a woman from conceiving. That's the definition of contraceptive.
Okay, well, is the prevention of implantation part of contraceptions?
No.
I hate this. Like, how are you going to argue that someone is pregnant when I can't even diagnose them as pregnant? That's bananas. You can have a personal belief that you don't want to use something that might lower the chances of implantation, but saying that someone is pregnant before they have an implanted pregnancy is absolutely bananas. That means everybody's having a miscarriage most months if they're not on birth control.
When the sperm enters the egg, that's when it takes place.
What takes place?
When life begins, that's when it takes place.
I understand, but
Of note, when life begins is really irrelevant to this discussion. That doesn't make any difference. We're defining pregnancy, not life.
And anything that kills that egg afterwards is aborting it.
That's not true. Abortion has a definition as well. Oh my God, I can't even watch more than 3 seconds. This is why the people who look like this and have no understanding of what I do should not be in charge of making laws, because they don't even know what they're talking about.
preventing implantation doesn't kill the egg, does it? Or does it kill the embryo, right?
We're talking about contraceptives here.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, my blood pressure's high. Why do people do this? It's absolutely bananas. I just can't stand it. Like, I will say too, no matter what kind of birth control you're using, the primary method is not to prevent implantation. So in a regular cycle where you're not on any kind of birth control and you're having sex with someone who can get you pregnant, you're way more likely to have a fertilized embryo that doesn't implant than on any type of birth control in existence. So keep that in mind. Additionally, it's fine if you don't want to take birth control or use an IUD because of your personal beliefs. It's not fine to try to say that that's an abortion when it's not, and to try to make that illegal. That is wildly and insanely ridiculous.
Oh no. Hi, friend. Guess what? I've made some new friends, and they come with questions about the abortion laws. One of the most important questions is about the First Amendment of the Constitution. It states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Correct? Yeah. Then why are we determine what happens in medical cases based off Christian views? A lot of people are saying that I should be proactive if I don't want any future pregnancies. What resources are you providing me to prevent future pregnancies? And if I can't afford them, will they be free? Actually, we're trying to get rid of birth control as well. Amazing. In the case that a man doesn't want to wear a condom because it feels better and his body, his choice, will he be fully responsible for providing for this baby that I'm going to be forced to have? I don't. Amazing, thank you. If this isn't about controlling my body and it's purely about the fetus, why is it nearly impossible for me to get my tubes tied or a hysterectomy at a young age? Amazing, thank you.
A lot of us are more than happy to tie tubes at any point with informed consent. There's an entire Reddit called r/childfree, I think, and they have a list of healthcare providers who are happy to do this. I know that most people who've trained in the recent past believe in autonomy of someone to choose to have their tubes tied at whatever point after that's legally allowed. So yes, I recognize this is an issue. I've made a whole video about it. I will link it in the iCard, but also there's a lot of options. So use that subreddit and check it out if you want.
If I choose to abstain from sex until, say, I'm married, should I be on birth control from a young age or when I start my period in the case of sexual assault? Who are your friends? If a fetus is not viable and I'm forced to carry it to term, who's going to be paying for the funeral costs? Amazing, thank you.
And the medical costs.
What postpartum care will you be providing to these new mothers? Especially those mothers who went through a sexual assault resulting in a baby that they didn't want.
This is really sad, but so true.
Also, because every life matters, in the case of twins, if one twin absorbs the other twins, do you have a set of tiny handcuffs for when that twin exits the cervix? Come on! Okay, that one was just for funsies. Are you providing health care in the case that my pregnancy causes long-term health issues such as tooth decay, hypertension, or diabetes? Isn't that what you have insurance for? I think you know what I'm gonna say. Not everyone has insurance. See? Me and you.
It is a absolute fact that people who seek abortion and are denied that have more pregnancy complications and lifelong conditions that result from that than people who never intended to abort their pregnancy at all. It's almost like people who seek abortion know what's best for them.
If life starts at conception, can I put my fetus on a life insurance policy in the case that I have a miscarriage? Also, how long do I get for bereavement before you send me to jail? Can you get new friends? No. If a woman over 35, which is considered a geriatric pregnancy, is forced to have a baby, which holds a ton of risks for the mother and the baby, will you be providing full assistance for the mother and the baby? Amazing, thank you.
Of note, we don't use the term geriatric pregnancy anymore. That's a document, like it's on an IDC code, but I have never in all of my years of being a medical student or in training to be an OB heard that used clinically. It's not really used within healthcare anymore. It is sometimes on healthcare documentation. That was a very accurate and a little bit sad discussion. If you want to check out my full video on the Roe v. Wade overturning and what that could mean, I will link that in the description box below. It's a really good video. I would encourage anybody who either doesn't fully understand this or feels like a visceral negative reaction towards this discussion to just watch it and give it some thought.
So go ahead and remove all of your clothes, and then once you're ready, you're gonna press on the little button and then we'll go ahead and come in. I'm gonna close the door for some privacy. All right, go ahead and relax for me, hon. Let's take a look here.
What is she using?
Okay. Everything is looking really good.
I want to know what her instrument was there. I love the hand and the lamp, but what was the instrument? It looked like food tongs. On that note, I do have to show you what I got. Longtime viewers of the channel will appreciate this. I somehow managed to find the tiny carrot all the way over here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. It's been lost for ages. I don't know how it made it here with me, but it's here. Also, my mom found this on the ground before we moved here when we were just at like a random park and gave it to me. So now we have a papa carrot too. Prepare yourselves for this, okay? It's incredible. I was given this recently at a conference by IVF Phoenix, a reproductive endocrinology office. It is a teeny tiny Tinkerbell speculum. So even Tinkerbell can be cancer-free and get her pap smears. It's incredible. Thank you for appreciating that with me.
Question, is it possible for a fart to sneak into a hoo-ha, lay dormant for a while, and then come out disguised as a queef, asking for a friend who may or may not have swallowed a fart?
That was chaos. And the answer is no, that's not how a queef happens. Generally, regular air is forced into the vagina, which is a blind pouch, and that comes out at some point with movement or intercourse or something like that. And no, farts don't just escape into the vagina. That would be problematic and probably indicate that you had some kind of terrible connection between the vagina and rectum called a fistula, which I promise nobody wants. It's not very fun.
Things women in my family said to me as a child that just don't make sense. What do you mean you need a tampon? Well, you only need a tampon if you're having sex. Well, are you having sex? I knew you was out here being fast. See, if you wasn't used to nothing being stuck up there, you wouldn't need a tampon. Yeah, you just told on yourself.
That's horrible. I have heard patients who told me things like that, but I just can't believe that people still think things like this. Obviously, I feel like it should go without stating, but tampons have nothing to do with sexual intercourse. Plenty of people who've never been sexually active will use a tampon, and plenty of people who are sexually active will not use a tampon. No correlation. This is dumb.
Pretty dumb, huh?
Arkai, please! Quiet, coyote! It is during a Levant to die. we're gonna be learning about the US government. America is a two-party system. One party is passionate about equality, and the other party loves Mr. Potato Head. Let's play a game called Are You Too Rich to Get American Healthcare, Alexis? How much money do you make a week babysitting your sister? $20, Alexis. That's too much money. You don't get healthcare. Oh, Alexis, you got an infection. You're dead. Alexis is dead. Step outside the class. Nobody talk to Alexis for the rest of the day. She's dead.
Said, Alexis is dead. Step outside the class.
Okay, Cleese. Quiet, coyote. It is June 26th. Today, we're going to be learning about the US government. The Supreme Court, which is made up of the 9 oldest people ever, decided to overturn Roe v. Wade. Now, this made people who are pro-life over the moon. Students, raise your hand if you want to take a guess at what it means to be pro-life. Alexis. To feed the hungry. No, Alexis. Michael, take a guess. Universal healthcare. No, that's not it. Sophie. Saving animals? No. They kill animals and put their heads over the fireplaces. Immigrant lives? No. Trans lives? No. Kids in foster care? Yeah, no, just joking. It's not any of those.
Oh, I thought it shouldn't be funny, but it's funny. I just had to include that one because it combines my two current worlds, life as an American living with kids who go to school in New Zealand, and that is genuinely how our archaic system of providing healthcare is seen by people around the world. I hope that you got a laugh today, maybe even learned something. If you're new here and you'd like to subscribe, we'd love to have you. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, check me out on TikTok. I never post TikToks except apparently now of our cat, but I have a TikTok and sometimes I used to post helpful information there. Okay, that's all. I will see you next Monday.